Merry Christmas, all you wonderful YouTube people out there. Today, we are back for another edition of the weekly sports card market update. And if Christmas is not your thing, happy and merry, whatever it is that you do in late December. A holiday weekend edition of the weekly sports card market update as I try to get this done before the Ohio State playoff game that I'm sure will go just wonderfully. But before we dive too deep, shout out to today's video sponsor, as they are of all the weekly sports card market updates, ComC.com. Two things I want to note today. Fresh Pulls, as a reminder, is back. That's a reminder to myself as well. I have a box of cards I need to fill up to get shipped out. I keep talking about it and I keep putting it off. Also, everybody can now grade with SGC through ComC. Grading through ComC is super easy. So easy, I graded 2 cards in under 90 seconds in a YouTube short and an Instagram reel. So, if you are looking to grade and you want to use SGC, fire away. It is super easy. I sent 2 Game of Thrones autos in. They promised 4-week turnaround time, I believe. We'll see how they do on that. And if you just need to do some shopping, buying, selling, whatever, go check out ComC. I just picked up, if you watched yesterday's video, a massive auto from ComC just recently came in the mail. First up, some sad news. Ricky Henderson passes away at, I believe, the age of 65. Fairly young. Massive run on 1980 tops Ricky Henderson rookie cards in PSA grade, or just any grade really. But across the board, his stuff was flying on Saturday, especially if it was autoed, but just in general, a boatload of sales. I'll refresh this again just for the hell of it. But you could just see December 21st, new listing, Instabot. Just scroll through here. I'll go all the way down to the bottom. Still December 21st. Still December 21st. 60 listings in, and over 60 have sold just today with the news coming down about Ricky. The late 80s athletics. I mean, I was an Indians fan growing up, obviously, but Canseco, McGuire, and Henderson, there was just something about that squad. If you were of that age, I had the Man of Steel poster in my room. I had a Bash Brothers poster in my room at one point in time, even though they weren't the local squad. Something about those A's players just transcended to a different level. Just the mix of on-field ability and I don't even know what the right word is. Just like almost superhero like a cult worshiping of those players. They had so much marketing push behind them. Absolutely a joy to watch when you could watch them. Because remember, back then, it wasn't like you could see them play all that often. You had to base it off the news highlights or what you read, or the occasion that they would come through town and play your team. It wasn't like you got to see them play every single night of the week. I know that sounds crazy for some of you younger folk, but it's the way it was back in the day. The 80 tops Ricky Henderson is a controversial card among many. It is known as one of the most pop-controlled cards in the history of sports cards, probably. If I ask people to put together a list of what they perceive as pop-controlled cards, I feel like this would be number 1, maybe the Gretzky, but I feel like this would be even higher than that. And it's kind of funny when you look at it. Shout out to GemRate and the Universal Search /Pop Report. You could see how everybody grades these, and spoilers, it's not just PSA. Obviously, PSA has graded the most of these, but as you can see right there on the screen, PSA, GemRate, 0.1%. Becket, GemRate, 0.1%. SGC, GemRate, 0.1%. So it's not like any one company is way out of whack, at least in regards to the gem rate percentage on these by any means. 8 seems to be the highest grade across the board. You could see that's the highest pop in PSA grade is a PSA 8. That is the highest pop in Becket with 1400, and it is the highest pop in, actually no, SGC 7 is the highest pop, but 8 is pretty high up there as well. So that mid grade, that 7 to 8 grade, is where most of these fall, with a few 9s and 8 5s. Obviously 10s are absolutely insane, but a 0.1% gem rate across the board. SGC does have 595s on the pop count, but only 8 SGC 10s. So yes, I know people talk about this card all the time from a pop control standpoint, but no one's grading it easy. Everyone's grading the hell out of this card in regards to how they're looking at it. Seems to be fairly consistent across the board. The big talking point / news item of the week was the Becket change in holding companies. Now, at the time that I recorded the first video, we did not know kind of what was going on behind the scenes. We just knew that collectivist was a thing. We didn't know where the money was coming from. Since then, some more news has come out. It is King Street is one of the financial backers, along with a couple of others. I made this joke on Twitter. I will make it here. Essentially, what is happening here for the non-business people is these groups of financiers essentially are going out. They're buying like a BGS 8.5. They're cracking it out. They're spraying it down with some Kirch juice, giving it a little rub down, and then they're going to resubmit it to see if it could get a Gem Mint 10 and then sell it for more. It's as simple as that. As I speculated in the video that I did do earlier this week, this is not the final phase of Becket. This is the, hey, we're going to throw some money at this thing. It's a fixer-upper. Can we pump some money into it and then flip it for more money down the road? That is what they are doing. If that does not work, they will probably sell it off for pieces and parts. So it could be a year. It could be a couple of years. I don't know how long it'll take. It'll probably depend. But that is the plan for Becket in the short term. It seems like this group specializes in buying distressed companies, throwing money at them, and then flipping them. So this is by no means the end of the Becket story. We'll see if things get better in the short term as they pump a little bit of money in to, potentially make things a little better. I myself have noticed one thing immediately after this acquisition happened: a lot more marketing. I don't know if that's the right way to go, but I did see a lot more posts on Instagram and Twitter for social ads, Facebook too, actually. So maybe that's just coincidence. Maybe because I've been talking a lot about Becket recently, and the phone listens in and the algorithm's going to throw things at you. Maybe it's as simple as that. But I just felt like I was seeing more ads after the initial news of this. So stay tuned. More to go on the Becket nonsense. This is not the final chapter. This is like chapter 1 or 2 of whatever comes next. One that has been on my radar, but I just have not had a chance to talk about it yet. I believe Sports Card Radio posted about this about a week or two ago, and then CBC, which is a Canadian news network, did a story on it. Essentially what happened is a lot of people up in Canada pre-ordered some hockey cards from a shop, and the shop has basically closed down / disappeared. They say they're going to try to pay people back. It's essentially, they oversold their pre-order by too much. It's a bunch of he said, she said. You could read the article, look it up, and do your own homework on it. The main thing that I wanted to get at here is, and if I did I thought about doing a standalone video on it. I just ran out of time in the week. Just be careful when you pre-order product. Don't put full amounts down. Be careful out there. Stuff like this could happen. The other thing that we're seeing happening in the pre-order world, to kind of cross the streams a little bit, is what is going on with Prismatic Evolutions, which is a new Pokemon set about to come out. Shops were selling pre-orders for ETBs for like $55, $50, whatever it is that they normally go for when the set was first announced. Now, because there's so much hype behind it, those ETBs are selling for close to $100, and stores are canceling people's pre-orders. You see this happen on occasion in the TCG world. Stores are canceling those pre-orders to now relist the item at a higher price. We see this, like I said, time and time again in the TCG side of the things. But same thing, people were pre-ordering that product. They thought they had product banked, and the shop kind of changed the game on them. It's a little bit of a different from this, but just make sure if you are pre-ordering, you're doing it with someone that you do trust, and try not to do full amounts. If you absolutely have to pre-order, maybe just do like a $5 or $10 down, or a 5 or 10% deposit. Don't let them use your money for free. We have a big sale of the fresh batch of rookie debuts over on Collect. They posted about this. 66,000 for Junior Caminero's rookie debut patch. I did see, speaking of rookie debuts, Jason Dominguez's was pulled today, right before I started recording this video about an hour or two ago. That was floating around social. So, with him and the Jacksons and some of the other ones that have been pulled, the only real one missing is the Paul Skeens. I think there's still some other medium-sized ones, but pretty much all the big names have now been pulled that Dominguez has been hit. So do kind of file that away. Keep that in mind. We'll look at wax prices again here in a few moments, but the hype over the debut patches continues to be a big driving force at the end of the year here. And like I said, the Skeens still hiding out there somewhere. A little bit more non-sports talk, and I do plan on kind of taking this down a path in potentially a standalone video this week. This one just hit me in the feels, and I was not like the biggest Cheers fan in the world. My dad was. We watched it all the time. I've seen a ton of episodes of it, but Rittenhouse has announced a new Cheers set. This got a lot of play on social. I shared some stuff on this, and that tweet got a lot of interactions. They basically have all the major signers except for Woody and the actress that played Diane. Other than that, pretty much everyone that you would want is in there. Kelsey Grammer, Ted Danson, we got John and Norm, and there is a fun and there's a really fun dual auto of Cliff and Norm that's a case incentive. Rittenhouse does this all the time. If you buy a certain amount of cases, you basically get a free card thrown in. That's going to be a very popular one. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be chasing this set. My age demographic, a lot of people might be like, I'm sure most people watching this video don't even know what Cheers is. You'd actually be wrong on that. A good chunk of my demographic is 35 to like 55, and I'm 44, and I remember watching the hell out of Cheers. Like I said, I was probably a little young for it in its prime. I remember watching it. I remember finding it funny. It wasn't like my show of shows at that age. I was in the cartoons, not guys in a bar. I did like it. Wait, and this might be a controversial take. I did not like MASH at all. I'm a Cheers over MASH guy all day long for late 80s sitcoms. And actually, my real preference of that time of life was Night Court. I freaking love Night Court. I think just because it was a little bit more comedic / cartoony almost in a weird sort of way. But this set is going to be very, very popular. I would not be surprised to see these cards get chased pretty heavily, especially the main characters and that dual auto specifically. I think these are going to be $170 a box is what I saw floating around the internet, with 2 autos per box and 1 relic card per box. It's a deep auto checklist. There's a lot of people on it. Wade Boggs is on it. Kevin McHale's on it. So you're going to hit a lot of random people in a box. Don't think that you're getting, the main players out of every single box. Also in non-sports news, we're a little non-sports heavy this week, but this is kind of way the cookie crumbled. Disney announced at D23 the first preview images that we're seeing of Topps first releases coming out in January. That is Topps Genesis, which is an overall Disney product. It looks like there's some preview images here, and we can see we have Star Wars, we have Marvel, and we have Disney. I am sure this set will be popular. I am sure breakers will be pumping the hell out of this, especially numbered stuff. It doesn't do it for me. However, this little blue and yellow box of goodness, X-Men 97, Topps Finest. Please be relatively affordable, and please don't ruin this product. I loved X-Men 97, and I love X-Men the animated series. There's a decent chance I end up opening at least one of these boxes, if not more. So no pricing information on this yet. Very few preview images. This is what they showed for X-Men 97. But yes, I will be at least checking this product out pretty hard once it releases. But like I said, that comes late January. That's going to be very soon. Very, very soon. I believe the Genesis is early January. And X-Men 97 late January. And then Genesis is early January. Like I said, I'm not as big a fan of this one, but X-Men 97, look out. All right, let's dive into some sports and look at some market movers, charts, and graphs. Link in the description down below if you want to check out market movers. You could get a 2-week free trial and 20% off for life, whatever plan that you decide to sign up with. Baseball, we've been checking this basically every week for the last month or so now. This is over the last 14 days. Topps update continues to creep up. Jumbo boxes are at $800. Hobby boxes are a little over $400. We will see how that continues to trend, as now most of the debut patches have been pulled, except for the Skeens, which is the one that matters the most, at least in the hype cycle's eyes. And then Bowman Draft, as we've been discussing, continues to fall in price. Hobby boxes are still sitting on Fanatics website for $525. They are on the secondary market now down under $500, and jumbos or super jumbos, whatever you want to call the damn things, are under $700. So Bowman Draft continues a sharp decline as we move through the end of the year here. Right now, a lot of the hype is still on Chrome Update and also Update Sapphire, which, as you know, if you watch the channel, I had a very successful box opening of Topps Chrome Update Sapphire. That is a very well laid out product in regards to autos. It's a very short auto checklist. You have a decent shot at hitting somebody good, plus the numbered parallels. Good overall product. I wouldn't pay secondary market prices for it at like $650 a box, which is what they're going for right now. But if you got them on release, one of the best rips. And it's not just because I hit. It's just, like I said, it's a well laid out product, especially for the autographs on Sapphire Update. Prizm Football released this week. We'll see. With it being Christmas and the New Year, we'll see what I got time to squeeze in. I would like to do my annual, I've done this for the last 3 or 4 years now, where I pick a random breaker and I watch a case break of Prizm Football just to see how bad someone got murdered. And maybe we'll do that again. I just found this Instagram post by Sports Card Investor absolutely wild. There are 63 different parallels in just the base set. That does not include, I don't believe anyways, the new Choice product, which everyone and their sister is losing their minds for as well. That's getting pumped to death. There's Choice Football this year. Choice was always a basketball product. It's an Asia-specific brand. It's where you get like your cherry blossoms and your tiger stripes and all that nonsense. So everyone's freaking out over that. Those box prices are absolutely insane. We'll talk about that in a second. I have more to say on 63 parallels in Prizm. I have not recorded it yet, but this plus some thoughts I had walking around the Philly show that I really haven't expressed publicly yet have got a potential rant video brewing in my mind. We'll see what happens. But you might see that earlier in this upcoming week. Prizm Football hobby boxes are sitting at about $1,000. I've seen them fluctuate between 900 and 1,000, but everyone right now is absolutely losing their mind for them. And then these just released, the Prizm Choice boxes, absolute insanity. These are going for $1,000 plus, closer to 1,100 to 1,200 bucks. It's 8 cards per box. That's it. That's the whole kit and caboodle. It's basically one pack, 8 cards per box. This is, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. It's almost like Breaker's Delight, but a different, completely different parallels. It's basically an all hit based product. That's why it's so expensive, and it's only 8 cards. You're guaranteed one autograph in those. And like I said, a lot of the other stuff in there is going to be numbered parallels. It's a breaker's dream to open this. But my Lord, $1,200 ish for 8 cards is wild. You kind of, this actually, eBay posting has some pretty good choice golds. See if they show. No, they don't show the Tiger Stripe and the Cherry Blossom, but yeah, Prizm Choice Football is all the hype to close out the week. Everyone's losing their mind over this. I don't think it was heavily printed because of the way that they kind of do their numbered parallels. So the box prices are probably going to go absolutely crazy. Early pricing out the gate. Now, do keep in mind, we are looking at a very limited number of sales. These prices will drop, and they will drop a lot. We haven't had a retail component hit yet. A lot of the hobby boxes haven't even been open yet. So for the love of God, if you want to chase someone from this product, especially one of the higher end rookies, just wait just a little bit, and you will get a much better deal on this stuff. Jaden Daniels Silver Prizm Raw is currently sitting at about $500. Bo Nix is coming in number 2 on the list at $350. Pretty decent gap between those two. Then what's hilarious is in early sales, we'll see how this shakes out. JJ McCarthy, who hasn't played all year, is selling for about the same price as Caleb Williams. Those two are very neck and neck, but still. And then there's another little bit of a price gap, and we drop down the Drake May. And then a pretty big drop to Brock Bowers, who's kind of in a tier by his own self. And then we get down into the position players, Lad McConkey, Xavier Worthy, Kenyon Coleman, Ricky Pearsall, Roma Doomsday. All the rookie wide receivers are in that $30-ish group. And then we keep going down from there. But it's really about Daniels and the rookie quarterbacks, as always, carrying this product. We will see how long that potentially lasts. That is all I got for you boys and girls today. We will keep this one a little bit on the shorter side, with it being a holiday weekend and everyone having a ton of stuff to get done around the house. I know I got some last minute shopping still to do. I still got to wrap some presents. We did a bunch of cookie baking on Saturday morning for some family time. Busy week upcoming. In regards to content, I have a PSA submission video already recorded, ready to rock and roll. That'll be dropping on Christmas Eve. I have a non-sports, not really a rant, but just like a kind of what I would like to see. That kind of based off that cheer set sparked this idea. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably know where I'm going with this. I have a potential sports card rant. That might end up being Monday's video. We will see. I need to get cards sent off to ComC. And then a bunch of end of year stuff. And, kind of the big one. I like to do a wrap up for like some of the biggest stories of 2024 based off of content. Some look ahead stuff, some look back in regards to pickups throughout the entire year. You're going to see a lot of that stuff. Everyone will be doing that sort of stuff, myself included, because it's fun and it's just fun to document that stuff. So that is all I got. As always, you boys and girls have a wonderful week. Curious for your thoughts and comments down below. And as I said at the top, For those that celebrate, Merry Christmas. For those that don't, merry and happy, whatever it is that you do this time of year. If you do nothing, just have a wonderful week. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.